Now, don't let the title of this video fool you. This is the safest way to take oral steroids. Not that they are safe, okay? Do not get that twisted. Now, how safe are they? Well, depends on the dose for pretty much everything. Of course, we know that with pretty much everything in life, no matter what you do, as long as the dose is kept to a minimum, then I would say pretty much anything in the world is kind of safe, if you know what I'm trying to say, okay? So it's all dose dependent. Now, what is the best way to take it? Surely there's got to be certain drugs that we can take long term, some that we can blast, some that we can take more. Let me just go through a couple of them. So I'm going to start with everybody's favorite oral steroid, Anavar. So Anavar, I'm going to talk about not the bullshit you see on Google. I'm going to talk about my own experiences. Now, I do very regular blood work, and I have done very regular blood work for the past, coming on to maybe 8 years now. So I've spent thousands in blood work. Literally, I spent more than 1,000 just last year. Yeah, I spent more than £1,000, £1,500 if I was to make, yeah, around about that, around about £1,500 to £2,000 last year in blood work alone. Why? Because I want to learn about my body. I want to learn what different substances do, so I don't have to go on Google and guess what I have found, guess what I've discovered? That Google's wrong. It's a lot of bullshit. There's so much shit on there that you wouldn't even believe. Let me just talk about quickly, just mention something about blood work, right? That how wrong Google is. They say testananthate is slow acting steroids. Not going to get released in your system. Do some blood work, and then 24 hours later, do some blood work again. But this time, before you do the second blood work, take some testananthate, slow acting testosterone, 1 hour before that blood work. And let's see just how slow acting testananthate is. Go and do the blood work. I'm not going to give you the answer, but I bet you know what the answer is going to be. It's not as slow acting as you think. Just like when they say Nebido, I'm just going to go off track here just for a second. When they say Nebido can stay in your system for 12 weeks because it's very slow acting. Do the blood work, bro. Do some blood work, do your testosterone, do your blood work, take 4 mil of Nebido, which is what they prescribe, 1,000 milligrams, and then go and do your blood work on week 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. And by 6, it's out your system. 7, it's non-existent. 8, you might as well be Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner? What was I meant to say? I meant to say, yeah, you know, the dad, whatever his name is. Anyway, point is, this is how much I don't know about the Kardashians, right? What's his name now? It's bugging me. Kristen Jenner? What's the guy's name? The guy who was the athlete and then turned into Woman of the Year. Anyway, forget that. Point is, it's not as slow acting as you think. Blood work tells us a lot. So I am talking about my personal experiences when it comes to blood work, and I'm going to talk about Anavar. Now, when I took Anavar for the first time, well, not the first time I did blood work, but when I took Anavar to try to do an experiment, I thought, hang on a minute, let me just see what happens. And it wasn't the Anavar that I was doing the experiment of. I was on Anavar though. Now I had elevated blood level, liver, enzymes, kidneys, GGT, ALT, AST, all this kind of shit, you know, in the past. I had it in the past. And I didn't know why I had it. I was on steroids, which steroids were working, which one wasn't. I might have banged in a few oxys as well, a couple of D-ball. Who knows, whatever. It was young, we were crazy, we were doing all sorts of shit. It is what it is. But I still kept it very moderate. Anyway, point is, fast forward a little bit. Anavar. 10 milligram. Plenty for me to keep me nice and tight. Plenty for me to make my digestion good. Plenty for me to just do everything that I need it to do. Blood work, month 1, month 2, month 3. I'm doing blood work and I'm not seeing any liver, kidney values being elevated. For 6 months in a row, I'm thinking, 10 mg Anavar, is this safe? Now, I'm just saying it's that safe for me. You can fill in the blanks for yourself. So I thought, okay, this is crazy. Let's see what happens with Winstrol. Did Winstrol low dose? 20 milligram though, not 10. Because the Anavar got that was legit, so it's very, very potent. And guess what? Month 1, month 2, slightly noticeable. Now, I'm not saying it was all down to the Winstrol, but I'm saying it was down to the Winstrol because I wasn't taking anything else that was different. So that was it. So we know that it raises with Winstrol, but not with Anavar if you do the low dose. Now, I can guarantee you one thing's going to happen if you do oxys and D-ball and halo testing, which I've never done, so I can't really guarantee on halo. I'm just talking from experience from other people, but definitely oxys and D-ball is something that I've definitely done when it comes to orals. And I haven't done these two drugs since I started TRT. I would love to try these on TRT, but I just haven't got the stomach for it. And I'm going to explain why in just a minute. But first, I'm going to talk about the reason for this video. What is the safest way to do it? So there you have it, guys. Winstrol, if you're doing TRT, it's a no-no. If you're doing steroids and you want to do Winstrol, here's how I would do it. I would do it pre-workout because I know it's going to work rapidly. And if anything, it's going to give me the placebo. And by the time it kicks in mid-workout, which is probably when your body broke it down and digested it, and it's ready to utilize in your bloodstream, you've got that second wave, that second wind. You know, that third, fourth leg is ready. So, or the second half, if you're watching football. So that's why I think pre-workout is the best time to take it. And your empty stomach, so it's going to, you know, go around your system a little bit easier, because one of the reasons why I take a lot of my tablets with my breakfast is because I want to slow down the digestion of it. And if the stomach is doing certain properties, then I don't want to stress my stomach multiple times a day. I'd rather say, we're having breakfast right now. Let's just bang all the vitamins, the minerals in right now. And then I don't have to keep banging them in throughout the day. So that's how I personally like to do it. When it comes to pre-workout, if you're a bodybuilder and you want to do Winstrol, I would say pre-workout. That's the best way to do it. Empty stomach, of course. Anavar. Now, Anavar, personally, I would just say take it with breakfast. It's okay. You're taking a very minimal amount. Now, if you were doing an amount like 50 milligram, 100 milligram, like some of these bodybuilders do, then I would say, yes, pre-workout it. So every single drug out there, I would say pre-workout. Like D-ball, let's go with D-ball, right? Now, if you take D-ball, a high dose of D-ball, a lot of people are like, well, you need 50 milligram of D-ball, so, you know, take 2 in the morning and then 2 before training and 2 in the evening. The truth is, guys, if you're taking D-ball, you're never going to be taking D-ball on your own. You're always going to be stacking it with another drug. So it could be SOS, EQ, Cipinate, whatever, DECA, anything you could be stacking it with. I'm not giving you cycles advice here. I'm just saying that people stack it with multiple drugs. There's no need to take it throughout the day. Take it for when you need it. So it doesn't mess with your digestion, doesn't mess with your appetite, because the drugs like D-ball and oxymethylone, they seem to somehow, I don't know the science, and I don't give a shit about the science, mess with your appetite. You know, another thing, just quickly sidetrack about science. When you take something that says this is a steroid, which is already quite dangerous, we already know it's dangerous, and you take it and it completely shits on your appetite and you can't eat anything, why do you now need to know why that does it? Listen, it's doing it, it's messing with your appetite. Stop taking it, or take enough as you need it, and then later on it's out your system, not technically, but kind of filtering out your system because your body's constantly trying to get rid of it or utilize it, then your appetite will come back. It's very, very simple. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully I've ran through every single steroid, oral ones anyway, on how to kind of use them in the safest way possible. And if you notice something, what I said here, when I said safest, I lowered the dose of everything. I said, take D-ball, but you don't need 50. Just take pre-workout 20 milligram. Don't need the rest throughout the day because you're already stacking other compounds. When it comes to Winstrol, you might be doing 2 in the morning, 2 pre-workout, 2 post-workout, 2 in the evening. You don't need it because you're going to be stacking it with other stuff. Take it pre-workout. So then you don't have to do the other doses. It's very simple. Now with Anavar, because Anavar can be used for TRT on its own, I would say alongside Proviron, probably get that as well, then I would say just do it in your breakfast. And the reason why have it with your breakfast is because you don't forget. If you're one of the people that always have breakfast time, let me just get this thing about breakfast time. Everyone's going to call me out on it all. When I mean breakfast, I mean after an hour of cardio and after an hour of training. That's my breakfast, guys. Breakfast just simply means breaking your fast from the night before. That's it. So don't get too hung up on it. I think that pretty much just covers all the orals out there. Do not take fat burners. Do not take caffeine. Do not take any of those other shitty tablets out there that you think are steroid related. You know, I don't give a shit what their marketing technique is nowadays. Anyway, hopefully this gave you some value. Comment down below, like, please subscribe. And if you want to join the dojo, if you want to get on my new online coaching platform, link is in the description right at the top, guys. Watch the video.